If I had known what that night would turn into, I never would have hit go live. Ria and I had been joking all week about trying the bird theory trend. We weren't the type to take TikTok seriously, but it was foggy, eerie, and perfect for content. The kind of mist that clung to your clothes and swallowed sound. The lake behind us was a sheet of shifting gray, breathing with the cold. Ready? I asked, lifting my phone. Ria rolled her eyes.
If I say something stupid, cut it.
We started walking along the boardwalk trail. The fog was so thick the lampposts glowed like dying candles. People loved atmospheric stuff like this, and within seconds we had 100 viewers. Comments flew by. Bird test! Bird test! OMG, this fog! Kiss already! I turned the camera toward Ria, smiling. I saw a cute bird earlier. I didn't get to finish. A shape materialized behind us in the frame. Tall, sudden, silent. Not from the path, from the direction of the lake. Ria gasped and spun around. A man stood there. A gray jacket, muddy jeans, no backpack, no dog, nothing. Oh, I said automatically, lowering the phone a little. Sorry, man, didn't see you. He took one step closer. His shoes left wet prints behind him, as if he'd walked through mud or deeper water. Birds aren't out today, he said, voice light, almost cheerful. Only the quiet things come out in this kind of fog. Ria's hands slipped into mine, fingers ice cold. I tried to laugh it off. Yeah, well, it's just a TikTok trend. The live stream kept going in my other hand. People were spamming. Who is that behind you? He came out of nowhere. End the live. Bro, he is not normal. Look at the water behind him. What is that? I didn't dare check. The man looked at Ria. His smile twitched wider. You two shouldn't be out here, he said softly. You never know what's hiding in the water. Ria tugged my arm urgently.
Daniel, let's go.
He waved at us, not a friendly wave. Slow, robotic. His eyes didn't blink. They followed us as we walked backward, then turned and hurried down the foggy trail. Once he disappeared from sight, I ended the life by shaking fingers.
What the hell was that?
Ria choked out. I don't know. Probably just some weird hiker. But I didn't believe that, and neither did she. We got home, locked every door, closed every curtain. My phone buzzed nonstop. Notifications from TikTok. I opened the stream replay. The comments were worse than before. He walked in from the lake. Rewatch. What was that behind him? Look at 15 seconds. Daniel, this is not a joke. Call someone. Call police. My stomach twisted. I scrubbed through the footage. At 14 seconds, the fog behind the man shifted. A deeper shape moving in the mist. Too wide and tall to be a person. Like something rising. Ria saw it too. She covered her mouth.
Daniel, I don't like this.
I didn't either. At 11:57 p.m., the doorbell rang. Then, louder knocking. I froze. Ria's voice trembled.
Don't answer it.
But then a voice called through the door. Police, we need to speak with you. Ria sagged against the wall in relief. I opened it carefully. 2 officers stood in the hallway, serious, tense, hands near their belts. Are you Daniel Morris? One asked. Yes. We need to see the live stream you recorded tonight at Lake Hollow Trail, immediately. Ria clung to my arm.
Why? What's going on?
The officers exchanged a look. A man escaped custody this afternoon, the older one said. We have reason to believe he was near the lake this evening. My throat felt like it sealed shut. Escaped custody for what? Double homicide, the officer said flatly. He killed a woman near that same lake 2 hours before you went live. Ria swayed. I had to hold her up. The officer continued. When your video appeared on our radar, we recognized the man in it. I felt ice spread through my chest. You're telling me the guy who walked up behind us was the suspect, the officer said.
Yes?
Ria started crying quietly. My knees almost buckled. We didn't know. He just appeared. The officer nodded grimly. He does that. I still try to imagine how it would have been if one of us had met him alone that night. I get flashes of his face when our eyes met, a smirk on his lips and the eyes glowing wide like he had 1,000 more faces hidden under that one. I now remember he was constantly rubbing his fingers while talking to us. His fingers had a dark, moist liquid smeared on them. Was it blood? I think you know the answer. I even asked the officer separately about his crimes. He told me the man had no contacts or friends in this town. He was first seen on the night of Halloween last year. Hours later, a mugged, throat-slit man was found in that same area. Honestly, I'm just glad we made it alive. So to everyone going bonkers to create an identity on social media, please be careful. I see young kids exploring abandoned places and posting those videos on YouTube. Just make sure you choose a safe spot, because shady places have shady demons. I swear I didn't mean for any of this to happen. It started as a joke, some stupid TikTok trend, the bird theory. Ask your partner if they saw a bird, record their reaction, and the internet decides if they're your soulmate. Harmless, dumb, whatever. Maya and I had been dating for about 3 months. It was still new enough that everything felt light and easy. Easy. We were sitting at a cafe we went to every Sunday, her scrolling her phone, me pretending I wasn't planning to pull a prank. I hit record, angled the camera casually, and said, "Hey, I saw a bird outside today." She blinked, shrugged, and went back to her latte.
Okay. Cool.
The video was boring, anticlimactic, but I posted it anyway. Captioned it, "Guess she's not my soulmate, #bird theory." 30 minutes later, it had 10,000 views. By the time Maya dropped me off at my apartment, it had hit 100,000. The comments were brutal, but I didn't read them. Not yet. I just assumed people were being dramatic, like always. Maya texted me at 7 p.m.
What did you post? Ben? People are tagging me. Why are they sending me my own face?
I told her I'd delete it when I got home. I didn't rush. I should have. At around 10 p.m., she stopped replying. I figured she was asleep. By midnight, the video hit 4 million views, and then everything cracked open. At 12:40 a.m., I was brushing my teeth, scrolling through comments with foam in my mouth, feeling my stomach sink lower and lower with each one. "Your girl looks dumb as hell. She's a narcissist." I tracked her profile. She's so mid. I froze mid-scroll. Death threats? I immediately texted her. "Hey, are you okay? I'm deleting it now. Call me." I deleted the video, turned off the water, listened to the quiet. That's when I heard a creak. It was my front door. I walked out of the bathroom, toothbrush still in my hand, toothpaste dripping onto my shirt. "Maya?" I called. What stepped out of the darkness hardly looked like her. Her hair was tangled, mascara streaked across her cheeks and her eyes. Her eyes didn't look like they'd ever blink again. In her shaking hand was the kitchen knife I kept in the block on my counter. She must have let herself in with the spare key I'd given her.
You made the whole world hate me.
She whispered. I raised my hands instinctively. "Maya, hey, listen, we can talk. I deleted the video. I didn't know."
You made me a joke. You let strangers rip me apart.
"Maya, please, put the kitchen knife down."
For content.
She stepped toward me. I stepped back into the hallway. "Maya, you're scaring me."
Good.
She lunged. I didn't even see the blade until it sank halfway into my forearm. It felt like being hit with a burning hammer. I screamed and fell against the wall, blood spilling down my hand. "Maya, stop!" She raised the knife again, and I swear she wasn't crying anymore. She was smiling, like this was justice, like I deserved it. My screams must have shaken the entire floor. Doors flew open. First was Arun from across the hall. He froze for a millisecond at the sight of the knife, the blood, me on the ground. Then he charged. Behind him came Mark, the guy with the pit bull. The two of them hit Maya like a tidal wave. She shrieked, furious, feral, slashing blindly. They wrestled her down, one pinning her wrists, the other holding her legs as she thrashed. "Call 911!" Arun shouted. "Ben's bleeding out!" Neighbors poured into the hallway, half asleep, horrified, holding their phones, staring at Maya as she screamed.
He ruined my life! He made me a meme! Everyone hates me because of him!
Her voice cracked, broke, shattered.
He made them hate me!
Even pinned, she kept trying to throw herself at me, like she'd chew through their arms if she had to. Blood was everywhere. Hers, mine. I couldn't tell. All I could think was, this is my fault. I did this. The cops arrived in minutes. They handcuffed her while she was still screaming my name. They had to drag her out of the hallway because she refused to stand. I watched them pin her against the elevator wall. She kept shouting through sobs.
You made them destroy me! You made them know who I am!
The elevator doors closed on her voice. I never heard someone sound so broken and so dangerous at the same time. The paramedics wrapped my arm. I kept apologizing, even when they told me to stop talking. I apologized to everyone present, but mostly to Maya, even though she wasn't there, even though she'd tried to kill me. The guilt sat on my chest like a cinder block. I opened TikTok while waiting in the ambulance. My comments section was blowing up again, this time with duets of the news report. Bird test almost turns deadly. Girlfriend attacks boyfriend over viral trend. People weren't laughing anymore. Some were horrified. Some still mocked her. Some called her unstable. And some blamed me for posting it. One comment stuck out, sitting at the top with 50,000 likes. The bird test doesn't reveal who loves you. It reveals who can't survive being exposed. I locked my phone. The paramedic asked if I was okay. No, I whispered. I don't think either of us are. He nodded slowly. I looked back at my apartment building, the hallway still stained red, neighbors whispering behind their doors. Dangerous didn't even begin to cover it, because the truth hit me harder than the knife did. I didn't know Maya at all, and maybe, I never should have tried to. I only sent the text as a joke.
Saw a weird bird today.
Everyone online was doing the bird test trend. Message your ex something vague about a bird to see if they'd still respond instantly. I typed it out to Derek out of pure curiosity. He was 10 time zones away, literally studying abroad, posting beach pictures at 3 a.m. my time. I expected nothing, but almost immediately my phone buzzed. Derek replied back. Where? Near your building, right? I stared at the screen, waiting for the part where he'd reveal it was a joke, but nothing came. I blocked the number. What else was I supposed to do? Maybe it wasn't even him. Maybe he changed numbers overseas. I spent the next hour doom-scrolling on my couch, letting guilty amusement replace the unease. It was just a dumb trend. Who cared? At 6 p.m., I got up to take out the trash. The hallway lights flickered like they always did. My apartment building was old, the kind of place where everything hummed. I opened my door, took one step, and my foot slid. My heel skidded over something wet. When I glanced down, I screamed so loud my throat burned. A crow, or whatever used to be one, lay slumped across my welcome mat. Half its chest was gone, ribs poking out, feathers torn into clumps. The smell hit me next, metallic, rotting, like something pulled out of the bottom of a dumpster and left in the sun. Someone had placed it gently, deliberately, right against my door. I slammed it shut and locked it 3 times. My hands were shaking so hard I dropped my phone twice before opening the building security app. A few minutes later, my phone vibrated again. A message from an unknown number. Don't block me again. My throat dried instantly. I reported everything to building security. They told me to come down to the office and review the hallway footage while they called the police. The security guard, an older guy named Ramon, fast-forwarded through the feed. There, he said. He paused the footage. My heart hammered. A man from the 3rd floor crept into frame. In his hands, the crow. He had latex gloves on. He crouched by my door, carefully arranged the dead bird like someone placing a love letter, then stood still for a second, staring at my peephole. My skin crawled. He stepped out of frame, then came back minutes later, phone in hand, typing. "We know this guy," Ramon said. "Lives alone, not a troublemaker. Quiet." That was exactly what scared me. But what snapped me cold was his face. He wasn't Derek, not even close. He was my neighbor, the same guy whose door creaked open whenever I passed by, like he always timed it. The same guy who accidentally checked his mail every time I walked toward the lobby. "How did he get your ex's number?" Ramon murmured. The answer hit me like ice. 3 weeks ago, a package of mine had been left in the lobby. It had my name and Derek's old number on the pickup slip. He must have pocketed it. My stomach churned. Police arrived within minutes. I stayed with Ramon while 2 officers went up to confront him. The monitor showed them knocking, stepping back and resting one hand near their holsters. The door opened. He didn't fight, but his face was unreadable, smooth, calm. He walked between the officers without looking at the security camera, until he did. His eyes slid upward, right at the lens, like he knew I was watching. I felt like he could see through it. They marched him to the elevator. Ramon put a hand on my shoulder. "You're safe now," he said. But I didn't feel safe. If anything, I felt like something had just begun. They asked me to wait in the hallway while more officers checked his apartment. I didn't want to stand near the elevator, so I stepped up to the 3rd floor railing that overlooked the ground lobby. The elevator chimed. Doors opened. The officers escorted him out in cuffs, and that's when it happened. He lifted his head, slow, deliberate, and looked up straight at me. He smiled, a smile like he'd been waiting for this moment. I stepped back instinctively. One of the officers noticed and nudged him forward, but he didn't break eye contact until the doors closed behind them. I don't know why, but that smile terrified me more than the crow. As officers continued sweeping his apartment, one of them called down, "Miss, you might want to see this." Inside of his living room, a table was covered in photographs, not of Derek, not of random birds. Me. Me walking to my car, talking to the mailman, and standing at the vending machine in the basement. Dozens of shots. Some were circled with a red marker, some dated. My breath caught.
How long?
One of the officers shook his head. "Longer than we'd like to imagine." I asked if I could go back to my apartment, and they said yes. They'd be knocking again soon to take more statements. I needed a minute to breathe. I stepped back onto my floor, feeling every shadow press against me. I inhaled shakily, turning toward my apartment, and froze. A small object lay on my welcome mat. My heart thudded painfully. I hadn't noticed it when I first left. I crouched slowly, flashlight shaking in my hand. The light caught something wet. I gagged. It was a woman's earring, still attached to a piece of torn flesh. An ear. A human ear. My mind spun. The officers had checked him. He'd been cuffed. He hadn't bent down. He hadn't passed my door. Unless he'd left it earlier, before the cops even came. A gift waiting for me to find. That night, I didn't sleep. I kept refreshing the news, praying to see a headline about a body found. A woman was identified. Anything. But deep down, in the darkest corner of my mind, I fear the truth more than anything. If they don't find her, he might come back for the rest of her. And he knows exactly where I live.